Okay, let's explore a really powerful idea today. What if your inner world, your thoughts, your feelings, and the outer world, the physical reality all around you, what if they were never meant to be separate? We're diving into this concept that these two oceans were actually once one, and that we might just be on a path to reconnecting them.
So, the source material we're looking at really kicks off with this central question. Think about it. What if the world you see and touch and the world you feel deep inside aren't just running alongside each other? What if they're actually two halves of a single, unified system that's supposed to work together?
All right, so let's get on the same page with what we mean here. On one side, you have the outer world. This is the ocean of matter. Pretty straightforward, right? It's everything you can touch, everything that's physical. And on the other side, you have the inner world. This is the ocean of knowledge. All your thoughts, your intuition, that gut feeling, your sense of meaning. Now here is where the story takes a turn. According to this interpretation, that original, perfect unity, well, it didn't last. It was broken. A kind of great separation happened, and it fundamentally changed the very blueprint of what it means to be human. And this interpretation actually points to a specific cause for this split. The source material says that a force, which it calls shaitan, was responsible. Now, this term basically refers to a rebellious, divisive force, something that's all about creating separation. And that's exactly what it did. It drove a wedge right between these two oceans and tore them apart. So, what was this original unbroken state called? Within this framework, it's known as the Suleiman system. You can think of it as the original human operating system, right? The integrated design where your inner and outer worlds were in perfect sync. This great separation is what shattered that system inside of us. Okay, so this all might sound like ancient history, but here's the thing. The consequences of that split aren't just some dusty old story. According to the source, we are living with the fallout right now, in what it calls the age of modern magic.
Now, when the source talks about magic, it's not what you think. We're not talking about wands and spells. No, this magic is all about separation. It's the separation of your body from its meaning, of our technology from the natural world, of our logical minds from our gut feelings, and, well, ultimately, the separation of humans from their own original design.
So let's break that down a little bit. We're talking about four key separations here. First, body from meaning, feeling like our physical existence lacks a deeper purpose. Then, technology from nature. I mean, you see that everywhere. Intellect from intuition, that constant battle between your head and your heart. And all of this leads to that final big one, humans feeling cut off from their original structure, alienated from who we're really supposed to be. I mean, think about this for a second. Have you ever been in a situation where your logical mind is telling you to do one thing, but your gut, your intuition, is just screaming at you to do the complete opposite? Yeah, that feeling. According to this text, that's not just you being indecisive. That's a direct symptom of this split between your intellect and your intuition. But here's the hopeful part. The source doesn't just point out the problem and leave us there. Not at all. It actually lays out a path to a solution. It gives us a roadmap for how we can start the process of restoration, of reconnecting everything that was broken. So, the big question is, how do we do it? Where do we even start? Well, the source suggests that the instructions for putting ourselves back together were never actually lost. They're just encoded. They're hidden in plain sight within sacred signs and structures, almost like a treasure map, just waiting for us to figure it out. And to make this less abstract, the text gives us a very specific clue from the Quran. It points to a particular verse that talks about a complete house built with 10 letters and 33 stones. Now, this isn't meant to be taken literally, of course. It's presented as a symbolic blueprint, a tangible piece of the puzzle showing us how to rebuild our own internal system. And this whole journey, this whole process, really centers around one crucial concept, one single powerful word. And that word is salam. Now, it's an Arabic term, and the simple translation is peace. But we're talking about something much deeper than just a lack of conflict. This is a specific, profound state of inner tranquility. It's both the goal you're working towards and the direct result you feel when you successfully reconnect those two oceans of matter and knowledge. It's the feeling of that original Suleiman system coming back online. Okay, so what's the end game here? What's the ultimate promise of all this work? Well, this path of reconnection leads to something pretty incredible. the idea of a future that's free from illusion, a totally new way of experiencing the world. And again, this isn't just about some ancient story. This central idea in this source material is that this reconnection process, it's happening right now, all around us. People are actively, whether they realize it or not, trying to bridge that gap between their inner selves and their outer reality. And what happens when we achieve that balance, when we find that state of psalm? The text makes a pretty bold claim. It says this will create what it calls the best generation, a generation of people who are totally free from illusion, simply because they're operating from a place of complete internal unity. So that really leaves us with one final question, and this one is for you to think about. In your own life, in that balance between the physical world around you and the knowledge you hold inside, what would it actually look like and feel like to reconnect your two oceans?